the Lesotho Defence Force thus far bear the hallmarks of a coup d'etat. In this regard, the South African government, consistent with the African Union position on unconstitutional change of government, wishes to reaffirm the AU position and warn that such unconstitutional change of government shall not be tolerated. The South African government further calls on the commander of the Lesotho Defence Force to order the army to return to their barracks and allow the democratically elected government of the kingdom to carry on with its business. The South African government is closely monitoring the situation and will continue to consult with the SADC countries as well as the African Union Commission. Further, the South African government encourages the leaders of the coalition government to work together and implement the Namibia Declaration, which was presented at the recent Victoria Falls SADC Summit. In this regard, South Africa, in her capacity as the chair of the SADC organ on politics, defense and security, remains committed to assisting the leaders of the coalition government to find a lasting political solution to their current crisis. And that's our statement. We can also tell you that as we speak, there are efforts to convene a meeting of the Troika, which South Africa chairs, to deliberate on the recent developments in Lesotho and figure a way forward, which will be communicated to everyone. All right. JJ.
Jean-Jacques Cornish from Eyewitness News. Who is in charge in Lesotho at this time? Where is Prime Minister Thomas Thabane? And if you could just help us with who are the other members of the Troika with you?
Do we have another question? Because after this I need to run. Peter.
Prime Minister Thabane has gone on record to say he's asked South Africa basically to intervene to restore order so he can return without fear of being killed. I mean, could you tell us what the response is today?
Okay. All right, so the Troika is South Africa chairperson, deputy is Lesotho, which is a bit of a situation on its own, because we now have to discuss what's going on in their country, in the Troika. But SADC will deal with the situation. As I said, there are efforts to convene a meeting to discuss the latest developments. We've noted all the requests, Peter, including the request that you're referring to from the Prime Minister. And as I said, the meetings that are going to take place will look into the situation in its totality, including all the requests from the Prime Minister and other people. We're engaging all the role players in that kingdom of Lesotho, because our interest is that political problems have to be resolved through political means, peaceful means, and that means dialogue. The one thing, however, that SADC will not tolerate, and South Africa, as well as the African Union, the entire continent, is unconstitutional change of government. We can't have coup d'etats in 2014. If there are political problems, people must sit and talk. And our responsibility as South Africa, as well as SADC and the AU, is to facilitate such dialogue so that political problems are resolved through peaceful means. And that's what we want to see happening. Okay.
The questions about who's in charge and where is Prime Minister Thabane at this point?
Well, the situation in Lesotho, it's still unfolding. No one has claimed to have taken over government. I'm sure you haven't seen or heard anyone claiming that. So we are monitoring what's going on there. It's still unfolding. That's why we are calling on the commander of the armed forces there to order them to return back to the barracks and allow the democratically elected government to continue with its business. Two men.
How long would you give the commander or the Lesotho armed forces time to keep your call, your strong-worded message to return to the barracks? If they don't, what action is the South African government going to take?
Yeah, no, you know, when you're resolving a situation like this, you don't give people hours or days. You make a call and continue to engage. That's how you resolve problems.
Is it a possibility that South Africa will send in the army or perhaps intervene?
Yeah. You see, we prefer a peaceful resolution to any crisis, particularly if it's a political crisis. So you give diplomacy a chance. Such things become last resorts when you're dealing with a political problem. So let's give diplomacy a chance. Let's allow the situation to be resolved through peaceful means, and that's what we're calling for. And that's the approach of South Africa dealing with any crisis, including this one. I will take that as the last question. Well, I was watching TV before I came here, and I see that he appears to have spoken to some people and confirmed his whereabouts. So I leave that to him. What we know is that there is a situation unfolding in Lesotho, and our interest is to see it resolved through peaceful means. Madam, that was supposed to be the last question, but we will allow you.
I understand that Prime Minister Tabane was asked to open up Parliament after the SADC meeting. That hasn't happened. Has there been any communication from SADC with regards to his failure to do so?
Yeah, you see, you will see that in our statement, we are also saying that we encourage the leaders of the coalition government to work together and implement the Namibia Declaration. One of the commitments in that declaration is what you are alluding to. This is why we believe people wanted too much to call for such. So we would encourage that the commitments that have been made by both sides, people must live up to those commitments. That's how you resolve a crisis, and that's our approach to this. Thank you very much.
Are all South Africans safe, including the High Commissioner?
Yeah, our team is all accounted for. We've spoken to our mission. All our staff members at the South African High Commission are safe and accounted for. In fact, you're reminding me that we would encourage South Africans to consider their planned travels to the kingdom with due consideration of the situation that is unfolding. Thank you very much.
Well, that was the spokesperson for the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, Clayson Monyela.